In this video, I'll show you how to build a Gantt chart system in Notion, how to structure it properly, and what to add so it actually works like a real project timeline instead of just a list of tasks. The main thing to know is that Notion's version of a Gantt chart is called a timeline view. Notion's Help Center describes timeline as a way to visualize projects over time using start and end dates, and its database guides list timeline as one of the core database views. To build your system, start with a database. This can be a project database or a task database, depending on how detailed you want the system to be. At minimum, each item should have a task or project name, a date property with a start and end date, and a status property. Notion says timeline view works by plotting database items across time, and items need a start and end date to display properly. Once your database is ready, add a timeline view. In Notion, you can create multiple views from the same database, so you might keep a table view for editing and a timeline view for planning. Notion's database view guide says the same data can be displayed in table, list, board, calendar, or timeline layouts, which makes this ideal for project systems. Now make it feel like a real Gantt chart by adding the right properties. A good setup includes owner, priority, phase, and dependencies. Notion's Sub-Items and Dependencies guide explains that dependencies can be used in timeline view, and date shifting can automatically update dependent task dates when schedules move. That's one of the most useful parts of turning a basic timeline into a working system. For bigger projects, use sub-items so major phases can contain smaller tasks. For example, you might have a website launch as the parent item, then sub-items like wireframes, copywriting, design, development, and testing underneath it. Notion's Tasks and Dependencies documentation says sub-items are built to help break work into manageable steps. Another smart move is to separate projects and tasks into two related databases. Then use relations and rollups so each project can pull in task data like earliest date, latest date, or total date range. Notion's Relations and Rollups help page says rollups can calculate earliest date, latest date, and date range from related items, which is useful for showing a project's full span automatically. After that, customize the timeline so it's easier to read. Filter out completed items, sort by date or priority, and group by owner, phase, or status. Notion's view settings let you filter, sort, and group database items, which makes the Gantt chart much more useful once your project grows. A great finishing touch is to create a database template for new projects or new tasks. That way, every item already includes the same status fields, date structure, and planning checklist. Notion's template guide says database templates let you pre-build that structure, so every new entry starts the same way. So the best way to build a Gantt chart system in Notion is to create a database, add a timeline view, use start and end dates, add dependencies and sub-items, and then customize the view with filters, grouping, and templates. That gives you a flexible Gantt-style system you can actually use for planning and tracking work. Hope the tutorial was helpful. Subscribe to my channel and see you in the next video.